Good morning Year 2, welcome to Thursday's English lesson. The first thing I would like you to do is open your book and write today's date and skill. Today's date is Thursday the 25th of February 2021 and your skill is to create an alternative event for a story. I'd like you to write this in your book please and then unpause the video when you're ready to begin today's lesson. Okay, let's get on with our lesson then. So, our SPAG starter for today. You're going to write the correct there, or there to complete the sentences. So these are homophones, aren't they? Because they sound the same, but they are spelt differently. So let's have a look at the difference then in their usage. So this there, with the T-H-E-M-I-R, this shows that something belongs to one person or more than one person. So for example, it's their car, it's their coat, for example. Okay, we would use this there if it belongs to them. This one, that's T-H-E-R-E, refers to a place or position. So for example, the vase is over there, the garden is over there, for example. Okay. Then this last one here, the A is up here because actually the A is replaced by an apostrophe. We can see that here, can't we? Because the A is missing, so we replace that with an apostrophe because it's a contraction and we have shortened the two words into one. And this is a contraction of they are then. So if we say they're going to the park or they're eating an ice cream, that is because it's they are shortened into there. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 sentences now. And I would like you to write these sentences into your book using the correct there, or there. Now, a little bit of a hint, this one of the there, so this there, and this there is only used once. So you haven't got 2 of these, for example, or 2 of these. Each there is only used once. So I'd like you to write these in your book using the correct there. I'd like to pause the video and do that now, please. Okay, so we have got, what do we think? They're going to the beach. Which there is it? Well done. It's short for they're going to the beach. Well done. What about the shop is over there? What there would that be? Well done. It's going to be there because it is a place or position. And then the last one, the children played with their toys. Which one would that be? Well done. The last one. Good, because it is their toys. They own the toys. Good. Excellent work. Okay, so today then we are going to think about all of the different ways that the spider tried to become the family pet. Now she was absolutely desperate, wasn't she, to become the family's pet. And I want you to try and think now, what are the 3 main things that the spider did to become the family pet, to try and convince the family that she would make an excellent pet? What were the 3 main things that she did? I'd like you to pause the video and discuss this with the person next to you, a grown up at home, or have a little think on your own, please. Pause the video now. Okay, hopefully you managed to get most of them then, if not all 3. So the first thing the spider did to try and become the family pet was dance in front of the family in the living room. And because none of their pets could dance, and how did the family react? Well done, they were very scared, weren't they? What was the second thing that the spider tried to do then? Well done, the spider tried to show the family how clean she was, unlike the pets that they had, because the dog was rolling in the mud, wasn't she, in the story. So she tried to show how clean she was by being in the bath. And then what did the mum do? Well done, she swirled down the drain, didn't she? She flushed her down the plug, and actually the spider landed outside, upside down, really sad. So that was the second thing that she did. The last thing that she did then, she tried to show the family that she could feed herself, unlike the pets. So we saw the picture of the dog being given the dog food, and actually she could feed herself because she caught the flies in the web. How did the family react? Well done, they said, out you go. We had that lots in the story, didn't we? And they threw the spider outside. So these are the 3 main things then the spider did to try and convince, to show the family that she would make a really good pet, far better than the pets they already had. So they've already got the cat and the dog, haven't they? Okay, thinking about this then, today we are going to be creating another event. We're going to make one up, we're going to use our imaginations, we're going to be really creative today, and we're going to be creating another event where the spider was trying to show the family what a good pet she would make. So I would like you to have a think then, what could the spider do to show she would be a good pet? Okay, if you've got a pet or you know a family member that's got a pet, what makes their pet or your pet a really good pet to have? Okay. Okay, what would be something the spider could do to show the family, actually, this spider would make an excellent pet? What could she do? I'd like you to pause the video and discuss this question now, please. Okay, so here are some ideas. I'm sure you've been far more creative than me. But the spider might show the family that she likes going for walks. That's something we do with our dogs, isn't it? We often take them on walks, and that's something we enjoy doing with our pets. So the spider might show that she likes to go for a walk. The spider might show the family that she's a very quiet pet. Okay, so my dog sometimes barks and he's very loud. So actually, if the spider's nice and quiet, that might convince the family she'd make a good pet. The spider might show the family that she likes to play. So actually that's something we all do with our pets, isn't it? We often play with our pets and give them toys, and it's something we really enjoy doing. And I know lots of you have got dogs at home and you love your dogs and playing with your dogs. Especially lots of you enjoy playing with them in the snow. So that's something that she could do to show that she would make a really fun pet. And the last idea that I had, and I'm sure you've come up with much more imaginative ideas than me, but the spider might show the family that she could make things out of her cobwebs. So she could be maybe really creative. She could maybe make little pictures or little toys out of her cobwebs, and we can be as imaginative as we'd like with that. Okay, it's a fictional story after all. So your task today then, now I don't want you to do anything just yet because we're going to go through an example and our steps to success, but your task for today, I'd like you to think of a new way that the spider could try to become the family pet, and I want you to really spend some time discussing your ideas and come up, you might even do like a little mind map of your ideas if you wanted to, or just talk about them verbally or think about them, and gather a few different things that the spider could do to show she'd be an amazing pet. And then once you've got a couple, I want you to pick your favourite idea that you are going to use today. Okay, so before you do anything else, you must have your idea of what the spider's going to do to show she is an amazing pet. Once you've done that, you are going to draw a picture of how the spider tried to become the family pet, so using your idea. And again, that's an event you've created, not one from the story. Okay. Underneath the picture, you're then going to write a short caption describing what the picture shows. Okay, now it's really important we write a caption underneath the picture, because sometimes if we go away and we come back to it, we might not be able to remember what our picture actually showed. So it's really important we put all the detail in our caption. Okay, that will help us next week when we come to write our diary entry. So let's have a look at an example. Now I have used an example from the story. You're going to be creative and come up with your own example, but this is roughly what it should look like in your book. So first thing you're going to do is draw your picture of the event. So this event is where the spider has shown that she can feed herself, and she's made the cobweb, caught the flies, and the family have looked up and seen this spider while they're eating their dinner or eating cupcakes. So I've drawn my picture, and underneath I've then written my caption. So let's have a look at what I have put as my caption. So I wanted to show the family how easy I am to look after. None of their pets can feed themselves, so I made a web and caught lots of flies. I thought it would prove that I can feed myself, unlike their pets. Instead of being happy, they screamed and threw me outside. I was so disappointed and confused. Why do we think the spider might be confused, do we think? Okay, so the spider might be confused because actually she's a really friendly spider, isn't she? And she might be thinking, I don't understand why the family aren't understanding that I'm a friendly spider and that I can do all of these amazing things that their pet can't. So she might be a little bit confused as to why they don't want her as the family pet. Now, if you are doing the cool challenge, so everyone else, you're going to do this where you've got your picture and underneath your caption, okay? If you're doing the cool challenge, you're going to draw your picture still, but rather than doing a caption underneath the picture, you're going to label the picture you've drawn instead, okay? So you can spend a little bit more time on your picture and then label the picture, okay, to show what the spider is doing, okay? So rather than writing a caption explaining it, you're going to label to show what the spider's doing instead. Let's have a look at our steps to success before we begin then. You must draw a picture of the alternative event, so your event that you've created, that you've come up with. You should write a caption describing what the picture shows underneath, or your labels if you are doing the cool challenge. You could use your knowledge of the story to suggest how the family would react. There was quite a pattern in that story, wasn't there, about what the family said and how they reacted. So you could use your knowledge of the story to think how would they react with this new situation, with this new event. And you might reread your caption to check your spelling and punctuation. A really important skill that we are learning in year 2, isn't it, is to reread our writing to make sure we've got those capital letters, full stops at the end, making sure that our spellings are correct, especially those tricky word spellings and those words that we write lots and lots, okay? So it's really important that we take the time to reread the caption, okay? And you're not doing too much writing today, so it shouldn't be too much, take too much time to reread it at the end. Okay, so I want you just to think, how would the family react before you go on to start the challenge? How would the family react to seeing your spider doing your event? So what is your spider doing? What situation is it? And how would the family react? Okay, well done. I would now like you then to draw your event and write your caption or label it if you're doing the cool challenge in your book. Pause the video, please. Excellent, I cannot wait to see some of your ideas. I'm sure you've been really creative. Okay, time for our plenary now then. You're going to write 3 adjectives. Remind me what an adjective is. Well done, it's a describing word, for example, soft, shiny, bright, lots of adjectives we can think of. But you're going to write 3 adjectives to describe the spider, okay? So think about what the spider looks like. So here is our picture of the spider, but also think about her personality. So is she a mean spider? No, well done. She's a friendly spider. She's quite kind, she's thoughtful, isn't she? So there's lots and lots of adjectives that I can think of that we can use to describe the spider. So I just want you to write your top 3 down into your book, please, because you're going to be using that to think about the spider and that character a little bit more next week. Okay, well done. Once you've done your plenary, have a lovely day, year 2. Goodbye.